a dear friend, a great supporter is here with us, and you know him also. Rabbi Levin.
Thank you so much. Shalom, pro-life America. God bless you, and God bless Nellie Gray. Keep her healthy and longevity. I want to give a shout out to Michael Barbaro, who 32 years ago brought me here to speak for my first March for Life. With the Gosnell baby killing or situation, we are seeing the Kevorkiization of baby births. This is a natural continuum of those who devalue preborn life through partial born abortions, which liberal Ed Koch and the late Senator Moynihan called murder. The liberals, pro-aborts, and homosexualists who champion the killing of the preborn baby murder agenda don't connect the dots when ultimately a doctor Kevorkianizes them or their loved ones. God acts measure for measure, and the evil abortion supporters are often signing their own adult death sentences. That's the lesson of Gosnell, Kevorkian, and the culture of death. My friends, for 2,000 years, millions of Jews sit on the ground once a year mourning the destruction of two holy temples and the loss of life. We read the book of Lamentations, which includes a phrase of compassionate mothers who slaughtered their own children. I urge it now, at this moment, all those who can, to join me in sitting on the ground for 15 seconds in silence, prayer, and contemplation to commemorate the hundreds of post-born murdered babies and the 50 million preborn babies aborted. I ask C-SPAN to show America the crowd mourning. And when we cry out later, don't lower the microphones. 10 seconds. Thank you. Perhaps we pro-lifers have a spiritual share in the death of those babies. King David in Psalm 132 pledges to God he would not sleep in his own bed at night till he found an address for God's temple. We sleep in our beds comfortably as babies are being slaughtered, preborn and postborn. How many of our youth here today get a day off from school with a bus ride to D.C. so they champion life one day a year? Thank you very much to the youth. But it's not enough. It's not enough. You got to be doing it every day, every week. Many adults, religious leaders, similarly do things once or twice a year. We've got to do a whole lot more civil disobedience. As Thomas Jefferson said, resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. How about those of us Jews and Christians who give lip service opposition to defunding Planned Parenthood, finding abortion legal because it remains legal because we're afraid of losing the money for the hospitals or the social service agencies or our chastity programs, which are included intentionally in the same bill with which we want to defund Planned Parenthood. The 501c3 cannot come before the babies. They can't. I want to teach you how to be motivated to do more for life. You've got to imagine that the baby being aborted is your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your grandchild. Imagine the pain that that child is feeling as he tries to move away from the knife and the saline solution. Motivate yourself. Understand and focus on the true evil. And let's save more babies. We call upon Speaker Bonnier to defund the $350 million taxpayer dollars paid out yearly to Planned Parenthood. How are we going to do this? I'm telling you, the fakery in Congress is so thick sometimes you can cut it with a knife. Listen, Speaker Boehner, please Don't allow the budget item of Planned Parenthood to appear in committee. It shouldn't even appear. B, have a strong pro-life conference committee to keep it out of the reconciliation process. C, let 35 Republicans tell Bonnier and Cantor, we will not vote to pass any budget which contains any money for Planned Parenthood. Speaker Bonnier, Leader Cantor, and Tea Party members, if we only prioritize spending issues and not defunding abortion and deviance in the military, we will lose God's grace militarily, financially, morally, and socially. Join me. Defund Planned Parenthood now. Say it. Defund Planned Parenthood now. Defund Planned Parenthood now. Defund Planned Parenthood now. Ladies and gentlemen, I will conclude by asking President Obama, who is trying to impose his mark of Cain, the first killer, on our whole country. Mr. President, what do you call the elimination of 50 million preborn babies? Do you call it mass murder? Do you call it genocide? Do you call it slaughter? What should we call someone who votes to withhold medical care from a baby who survived a botched abortion? There's something wrong. My dear friends, do you want to know why the pro-life movement is somewhat static rather than more dynamic? Could it be because yesterday Christine Hawkins of Students for Life and her sponsors, the Alliance Defense Fund, had no room at the inn for myself and other rabbis representing 850 rabbis of the Rabbinical Alliance of America? I was forced out by 2 hotel security people. Never did the liberals or the abortionists do this to me. We are owed an apology. We've been fighting for life for 32 years. There is something wrong with some of the childish behavior. As Nellie Gray said, we've got to get together and unify. We've got to have unity and maturity. Finally, I want to come speak to your communities. I want to get out to your colleges, your Christian schools. Contact me by the thousands. It's late in the game. RabbiLevin.com. And I plead with you, sign the pledge on GodReignOverUs.com that we swear we will not vote for pro-abortion, pro-deviance office holders. If we do this, and in the next year we get 5 or 10 million signatures, we will be heard. Join me at the end of this march, where I will stand with a great individual who wants to show the pictures of the babies on TV at the Super Bowl. He wants to use the election to do that. And I say that 501c3 or not, I as a human being have the right to endorse a great pro-life champion. And I urge each and every one of you to start running pro-life campaigns. Start now for Congress. We want to have 100 people running for pro-life office in the Republican and Democratic Party. Join me in supporting Randall Terry. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you. And now the chauffeur. You think Obama heard that? Do you think Obama heard that? Do you think John Boehner heard that? And the walls will come tumbling down. God bless you.